While others celebrate the wins,
Yes.
We celebrate the mud.
each episode has a special guest.
Tony-nominated actress, Broadway's Lily Cooper.
Tashir Zameda.
David A. Gregory.
Getting messy with muddy topics.
We are going to be talking about grief journey.
With hilarious moments
Now get over here.
And deep conversations.
I'm ashamed to even admit this, but this is what happened.
This is Into the Mud.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Into the Mud podcast. While others celebrate the wins,
We celebrate the mud. Shut the fuck up. We're coming to you.
she's Alex Cumin, I'm Drew King, and we're coming to you live from the Bower Room at the Mall in West Village.
I'll never do it. I'll never do it with a straight face.
Oh my God.
Okay, anyways, we're here with the wonderful Gus Constantellis today.
Yay,
So
Gus.
excited to
What's
have
up?
you.
How's it going? I'm on the what you guys told me is the yellow couch.
Oh, this is the yellow couch. Oh, yeah.
And
so,
we just discovered that you're colorblind.
So you're colorblind.
Drew goes sit on the yellow couch, and I go,
Which one?
which one? Immediately.
You legitimately can't.
I think it's green. It looks green to me.
What are the wall? What's this? What are the colors on
It's
the
a
wall?
lot. So I see. I think I see a brown.
You see, you
There's,
do.
yeah, there's like a muddy, like red, brown,
Yeah,
rust brown.
that's
red.
called a terracotta.
I don't see the red. So the thing is, I'm red green colorblind. So that's where they really get me. That's
So
where they
the-
really get me.
Do they? What is
It all like looks like one, or it just doesn't, like the brown red that you say is like it just looks like one color. Like I'm looking at it real like it these two different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like that to me. It looks like one color.
Wow.
What does
yeah.
the pride flag look like to you?
You know, it looks so. That's the funny part is I did a show one
Gay.
time where the lighting director of the show was like a theater, and the lighting director put like a rainbow on the stage because I'm gay, and the opener.
I'm sorry, we don't allow that.
We don't,
No, I know,
that's
I know.
not welcome
Homophobia,
here.
very, very
It's not
high.
what
on my
we
list.
do
Cameras,
here.
cut the
Yeah.
cameras.
So I was like, I was just, we did the sound check, we did the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, right before we're about to go on stage, it's me and the opener and then the technical director. We're all standing there. And my opener is like, oh my God, that's so cute that they did the rainbow for him because he's gay. And he was like, oh yeah, the lighting director did that. It was, we thought, blah, blah. And I'm looking at the fucking stage and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I see orange, I see blue, I see, I think a red, and then
That's it.
nothing. So I was just kind of like, okay. And then I eventually was like, guys, I don't see anything. And they explained it to me, like they broke it down for me. And I was like, that is so funny. I don't see that at all.
He doesn't see color, folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
He doesn't
truly
see
don't see color.
He doesn't
Yeah.
see color.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I don't think I've ever met anyone who's colorblind.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
a fun little thing. It's like why I can't dress myself.
I love this.
You dress yourself perfectly.
No, well, I've learned now,
Love
but
this
like
sweater.
I always like at a certain point I like text people like, does this go? Does this go?
That's so...
Does this go? That
I
was the
love
great
that.
thing
Does
about
this
having a
go?
boyfriend.
Does this go?
I
Yeah.
was like, does this go? And, like I had a person always there.
You didn't have to text me. It was right there. Oh my God.
I love it.
I love it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here we go. We're getting into the episode officially. So you and I know each other obviously through stand-up. We met like years ago.
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen each other a ton, but then recently we reconnected.
Yes.
Through drugs.
Drugs.
Through drugs.
He referred me. We were talking about the ABBA experience in London.
Oh
that
yes.
both of us.
I've heard wonderful things
That
about
we
the
have
ABBA
to go to.
experience.
It
I want to go
is-
so
Have you
bad.
been?
It is. I have been.
You have been.
It is. I sat center. I
You have to sit center.
felt like I was transported to 1976.
Please explain to our listeners what the
So,
ABBA experience is.
In London, they built an ABBA arena, and there's a show called ABBA Voyage. And ABBA, who is still alive, all four of the members are also alive. When they just
Quite a
released
bit
new
older.
album like 3 years ago.
Yep.
And they hadn't released in 40 years. They hate
Yeah.
touring. Their big thing was they hate touring because the women hate them. Like the women hate each other. They were all married, then they got divorced, then they hate each other. So it was like all drama. And so they recorded themselves in green screen costumes.
Or red screen, according to you.
Yeah. But
Or
you
or
should do comedy.
Yellow, blue, purple screen, whatever the fuck it is. And they recorded themselves doing a whole concert, recorded the vocals, and then Lucasfilm did the animation, and it's a live hologram ABBA show in an ABBA arena with a 20-piece live band. that plays with them.
I know. I have to go see this.
It's staged like a real concert. It's not staged like a, like those fair shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like visuals. No, they're like, they look like they're on stage. They do costume changes in real time. So they'll be like, guys, we got to go change our little funny costumes. And then they run off. The band plays in real time. And then they come back out. It's not like they snap and they're like, boom.
Yeah.
No, it's like, so it feels like a real cool experience. It's so cool.
I want to go
And
so
it's
bad.
like, it's ABBA. It's ABBA. So it's obviously bop after bop after bop.
It's nonstop hits.
It's amazing.
I have a
nonstop
friend
hits.
who is like
Amazing.
the biggest ABBA fan. She's huge, huge, huge fan. However, she is like vehemently opposed to the ABBA voyage or ABBA experience. And she just went to London with her wife for New Year's Eve, and I'm seeing them for dinner on Saturday. And I'm like dying to see what she thought about it because she was like, I don't want to go because I love ABBA, but I don't want to go see holograms of ABBA, so I really don't want to go.
But it's sanctioned by
I
them.
think,
that it was
she
them.
might have loved it.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out on Saturday. I'll keep you all posted.
The thing that sold me was that it was them. They recorded themselves.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like if Janet Jackson or Madonna were to go and record a green screen version of her perfect show, like
Yeah.
the perfect Madonna show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of what this would be.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
they sanctioned it. They want to do it. Like that's what. Yeah. Okay, so we are
Yeah.
going.
They're going to
But
prop up those little ABBA arenas everywhere in the world now.
I'm ready to go.
New York
go.
City, watch out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we talked about drugs in relation to ABBA.
Yes.
But that's how we're here. But you have such a great you have done so many fun things. So you've done Comedy Central, you've written for shows on Nickelodeon,
Oh, yeah.
on
I used to write
Netflix,
for
on
Kids TV.
Disney,
so
writing for
cool.
Kids
That
It's a
TV.
fun little job.
And you have such a really beautiful community online through a lot of your because you're Greek American or fully Greek.
I'm Greek American.
Greek American, but you have done so many amazing sketches to the point where my cousins in Worcester, Massachusetts, who run a Mediterranean marketplace,
Ed Hiders?
Ed Hiders, shout out, absolutely, get there. They were like, "Do you know Gus?" They were like, "You know Gus?" So you're famous.
You're famous in Worcester,
Mediterraneans love me.
Massachusetts, which is where I'm from.
Oh,
Also
yeah.
a Massachusetts.
Massachusetts loves me. Mediterraneans
of
love
course
me.
they do.
Mediterraneans.
Yeah, my best
love-
friend growing up, Allison and Mary Kate, they're all Greek. Yeah, there's lots of Greeks in my life and lots of Greeks in central Massachusetts.
Anyone that consumes olive oil,
They're yours. They belong to
they're
you.
mine.
You're like, you made it.
We share.
Yeah.
that
I
bond.
love it. We're in it. So we're here today talking about. I can't believe we haven't done this topic yet.
We
Have we?
loosely did it with Sid.
We loosely did it with
Loosely.
Sid. We loosely did it with
But
Sid.
that was more
we
about
have,
like breakup conversation.
yeah, it was a little bit more
But-
breakup, but we're talking about the muddiness of dating. So we
Love it.
boom.
Yeah.
And as three single gals, all of us are in just the dating pool right now.
Yes.
We're all in the thick of it.
We're in the thick of it. And we want to start. So tell us a little bit about your experience of how long have you lived in New York?
I grew up here, baby.
You grew up here.
You did?
Bay
Where?
Ridge, born and raised.
God,
Not
oh my
Long
God.
Island.
Not Long Island.
Okay, Bay Ridge.
Bay Ridge.
Bay Ridge.
Born and raised. I always am so interested in have you ever lived outside of New York?
Yeah, I lived in LA for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that, I didn't like it. I don't like car culture.
Yeah.
I know that sounds so stupid
No, I'm
and
the same
weird.
way.
I
No.
hate cars. I just can't do it. I didn't grow
It's
up.
a very different thing.
We had a car growing up, but we didn't drive it around all the time. I wasn't driving around in it. I just took the subway as soon as I possibly could. I took the bus to school.
Yeah.
So I was always a little public transit kid. I took
Yeah.
the B. I used to take the B4. I used to take the B63 to the B4. That transfer killed me in middle school.
The
12 years-
transfer kill. I love
12 years
imagining
old.
you as a middle schooler just
I was 12 years
whipping
old, listening
cigarettes.
to Alanis Morissette's supposed former infatuation junkie, smoking a cigarette, waiting for the B4 to come, being like, "I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late." Literally, that was it. That was public transit as a kid.
Oh my God, I love
So
it.
I hate cars. So LA was rough for me because it's all cars.
It's fully
They
all
love
cars.
cars.
Love cars and they love traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're born and raised in New York. What's your dating history? Lay it on us.
Oh, what did I lost?
Long-term relationships? Well, let's
I had
talk
one
about
I had one long-term relationship. It was like 5 years.
5
Wow.
years.
That
How
ended-
old?
I was 27 to 32. So it just
Great.
ended last year.
Okay.
Literally
Wow,
a-
this is fresh.
a week after my mom died. It was like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Well, it was me.
You
because-
killed your mom?
Yes.
Yes,
And
okay.
I killed him. So
Okay.
you know what I mean? I was a double homicide.
Yeah. Double whammy.
Murder.
Oopsie, my bad.
Sorry.
No, for that was me because when she died, I was like, I don't want to be with this man.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Tell us
Tell us more
more.
about that.
So this is the thing is we got into a huge fight 3 days before my mom had a stroke in Greece and we were all on vacation. And then like
You were
literally,
in, you were in Greece.
we were in Greece. We're on an island. We get into a huge fight. He lied to me about some crazy shit.
Okay.
And like my mom was separate on another island, and we were all gonna meet up back up. And we get into this fight. 3 days later, we're fighting. We have this and then I have this kind of moment with him because I had already broken up with him and then gotten back together. So it was a lot of like
It was a back and forth.
The back and forth.
cycle,
yeah.
The back and
cycle,
forth.
you know?
Uh-huh.
And so I remember thinking the night, this is really vulnerable of me. I really can't believe I'm saying this really. The night
We can
before,
edit it out if you want.
We can edit out.
No. It's just the night before my mom died and I got the news. Like I remember thinking, sitting there, like fighting with him for 3 days, being like, whatever, being like, you know what? Maybe I can make this work. Maybe we can make this work. This is okay. You know what? We've been talking. Maybe we're in a good place. And then woke up, morning, text, mom's dead. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to be with this man. Like right away.
Wow.
Like it was visceral. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Death puts everything in
Like it
sharp
really,
perspective.
yeah, it really put it real in perspective.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we're going to get back to America and I'm going to break up with him then.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, because you don't want
Because I
to be
was on the
sitting
trip.
in the
We were on the
breakup
trip
group
and she was
on
in a
it.
coma. And then she was in a coma and then we were
God.
in the hospital for 5 days. It was like a whole drama. It was a whole drama. So that was a long relationship. And that was my real first adult relationship that we were like probably going to get married. Do you know what I mean? It was
Wow.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also like, you know, I think he was planning on proposing in that trip. So there was a whole element of like, yeah, it really all blew up. But
Wow.
yeah, it really did. It put that in perspective for me.
You've talked about this before
Yeah.
when your mom passed of
Yeah.
like having to go to auditioning for.
Yeah, it's just like it shuts everything in perspective, and you're like, what the fuck am I like? I was saying I had an audition after like the day after my mom died, and I was like, why am I'm fucking tap
Audition.
dancing right now?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, this is the worst decision I ever made was coming to this audition.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's so wild.
Yeah, I feel you.
When did you come out?
I came out to my dad when I was 19. I came out to my mom when I was 20.
Okay, was that hard for you being a
Interesting.
first generation Greek American?
So difficult.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
so difficult. I mean, there's family members that still have an issue with it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I was lucky because my cousin was 20 years older than me, or 20-ish years older than me.
Yeah.
And he came out, and his mom was so bad about it that, like, when it came to me, my mom had 20-ish years of experience with her sister.
Okay.
Dealing with her son. Like, she kicked him out of the house. She didn't want to meet the boyfriend for years. The boyfriend that he met, like the first boyfriend my cousin had, they're still together. Married, still together.
Wow.
The only stable relationship in our family is those two gays.
Is the gay one.
Those two gays on Ozempic. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're on Ozempic now, but one lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, you look good, but is it Ozempic, Chris? Anyway, but those two gays. And so she wouldn't let him in the house. She didn't meet him until like 10 years of dating the boyfriend. She didn't let him in the house until like 15 years of dating.
Okay.
Now she loves him. Now she's like, I like him more than my real son because my son's an asshole.
Wow.
I know.
Whoa.
But that took so
That's
long.
wild, but it took.
So my
took
mom was like,
years.
all right, let's speed track this a little bit here. Okay, I'm mad, but I'm not going to kick you out of the house, you know?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
and so you said you told your dad the year before.
I told my dad because my dad's cool. My dad's so cool.
Are they're divorced?
No,
Okay.
no, my dad's just cool.
So how did that happen?
My
where
dad was
he
a
like-
tailor in the Upper East Side in the 80s.
Oh, he had to
My
deal with
dad
a lot of
lived
homosexuals,
through the AIDS
probably.
crisis.
Yeah.
Okay, my dad, a tailor, all the gays were going to him in the Upper East Side because it was right next to Bloomingdale's, and they would go, and he was a little swarthy 30-year-old Greek man, looking hot, fresh off with a little accent. He was like, Gus, the gays, they loved me. Gus, they all flirt with me. Gus, I'm trying to hem their pants, and they're
Of
like,
course
look,
they did. But they're
like,
obsessed with him.
They're like touching. Oh, look at me. Now, because now my brother works with my dad, my middle brother, and he's
Is
like,
he still a sailor?
yeah. He's like, they like him more now because I'm old. They don't like the old man. So now they're all flirting with him. He's pissed. He's mad about it.
So mad.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
I
bring
mean,
him to Fire Island and just like let him like be a daddy for a
No,
weekend.
I'm good with him. I don't need him partying more than he does. I already did. I just went to Portugal with him, and he was partying the whole. He's
my
he's
God.
just
is he
crazy.
just
yeah.
such a
He's like, bah,
But
brah,
I
all the
want to meet
time.
your dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a fun,
you
would
he's a
like
fun
him.
time. He's a
Drew's
fun
gonna-
Don't want to
fuck
meet your
your dad.
mom, but I can't. No,
yeah.
Terrible.
She dead.
I don't even know you. I was like,
Too late. Yeah.
look, we love a dead mom joke.
Actually, I
dead
have that on my Tinder profile because like one of the questions is like, what would your parents think of me or whatever? And I said, you lucky, my mom's dead.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know how you came out to your dad, and then
You see how I tied that back into dating?
I know, well done.
honestly, and then
That's why
I brought
you're
it,
Put me
here.
on Fallon.
and then I brought it right back. then I said, come on back. But was it just between you and your dad, and you were like, don't tell mom?
Yeah, he said, don't tell mom. It's going to start World War III.
Okay.
So give me some time. And I do a joke about it on stage where he says, like, I'm going to condition her. And so, like, for a year straight, he's walking around the house being like, you know, gays improve the property value. And, like, things like positive things about gays. I have a stand-up thing about it. It's a whole whatever.
We'll put it in the, we'll link it.
Yeah. Link it down below.
I waited a full year to come out to my mom, and my dad said, do not tell your mother. It's going to start World War III. Wait for me. I'm going to condition her. And I was like, condition her? So for like a year straight, I swear to God, my dad walked around the house saying things like, you know, gay people, they really do increase the property value when they move to a neighborhood. I went to Home Depot and this very nice lesbian helped me pick out the hammer. And then I did it. I got impatient. I ripped the Band-Aid off. I told my mom. It went horribly. My dad came home and he was like, why? I was so close. And I was like, so close? What does that mean? Next week you were going to watch Brokeback Mountain?
But
so now we're gonna switch into dating. So we had a 5-year relationship, and then mom dies. And then how soon after your mom passed did you feel comfortable dating again? Or was it, because I know
yeah.
not yet.
Because you only broke up like a year ago.
Yeah, it was like a year.
It's
It was like
recent.
a year and 4 months now, I guess. It would be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I had a long-term relationship, and it took about a year, about maybe like 9 months before I was even ready to like go on a date.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels strange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've gone on dates, but not like, even those I'm like halfway through I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm having a drink.
Do
We're talking about Drag Race. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
yeah.
we're having a gay old conversation. I'm going home after this. This is not a real date, you know? And I'm a hoe. I'm a big hoe.
Can we talk about?
I'm a responsible hoe, but I'm a hoe. Get tested every 3 months.
Yes.
Get your
Absolutely.
PrEP, get your doxy.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
you're not actively dating. You're going on some dates, but primarily you're just getting
No, but
you're
I'm
getting
a
the
hoe.
D. You're
Like-
collecting D.
Yeah,
we're
like
maybe
I
love this
took Thanksgiving off.
conversation. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanksgiving off from D. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You know?
Okay. Great. What are your apps of, if we're gonna get gay here, what are your apps of choice? Are you a grinder, a scruff, a
Obviously on the
sniffies?
grind. You got to be on the grind.
Okay.
And I tell you, I pay for the lowest bar of grinder.
I don't even pay.
I can't, because the ads are too much. I can't do it anymore. It's too
what
much,
is that-
man.
Wait, what
Okay,
are
so
the
there's-
tiers of? I know Grinder and I know Sniffies now.
Yes, we had to explain to Alex what
Sniffies is fun. Sniffies is a good time.
Sniffies?
There's just a lot of
It's a lot of
drugs on Sniffies, so you just got to really
There's a lot of
suss out.
drugs everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
They're
that
spooky.
That's the thing is I didn't realize until because I went to Spain and I was there
where we
for
met.
like 3 days and Grindr was like really rough for me, and I was like I literally had to look myself in the mirror one day in Spain and be like, you're not ugly. You're not ugly. Don't let these fucking hoes bring you down, okay? You're fine.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And so I was like really, and then one person was like straight up like, yeah, everyone does drugs on Grindr in Spain. It's like only
That's like a
for
thing?
drugs.
Is that a
And
thing?
so they were like, look out for the word chems. If someone says chems, it's because they're doing drugs. And I was like,
Chems?
Like
that-
chemicals.
yeah, like
chems.
chemicals.
Oh.
And I straight up was like, 95% of the profiles say it.
Ooh, I just would have deleted the app.
There's only
Yeah.
like 3 on this grid that say no chems. And I'm like, what? And I asked him, and he was like, you got to get Tinder. Tinder is where you'll find like normal people. You'll hang, you'll get a drink, and you'll go fuck. And I was like, oh, got it.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay.
Much better.
Wow. Okay, so in the United States, what is your preferred app?
I mean, I
Grindr?
like Grindr. I like Scruff. Scruff is fun. I also,
Which one's Scruff?
I'm like kind of a kinky guy, so I do Recon. I don't know if you know Recon.
I don't know Recon.
Recon is like all like, it's for like all kinks. And so you can literally plug in what you like and then just only find people that like that.
Great.
I
It's
love
an
that.
app
an
or
app,
it's
yeah.
it's like a URL?
No, it's an app. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Recon.
It's
Okay.
nice. It's
Download
also
this.
because
Little
it's so
Recon.
kink oriented too. It's like you're not gonna like it's like, okay, for an example, is you're not gonna get fisted on a random Monday. You know what I mean? You got to plan to fist, and if fisting is your thing, we don't sex shame here. Okay?
No,
Don't
no,
go fist.
no.
But it's like you got to plan that ahead, and that's
Yeah.
the good thing about Recon is that it is people where you're like you'll message them, and then they'll message you back like 3 days later, and then you'll make plans to go do something.
Yeah, because you gotta take care of
Because
that.
you gotta
This,
make
not
sure, right?
this.
You gotta, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This,
If
not
you're getting
this.
this, if you're getting some of this,
It's
Yeah.
you gotta,
you gotta do that.
you know.
Wow. Okay, wait.
Okay, so yeah,
So grinder, scruff, recon, sometimes sniffies. Are you getting any romantic prospects off of these? Like,
Are you
is it?
getting any or slash are you looking for any?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I
romantic,
get
or are you
like,
still not sure?
you know what? My friend asked me this recently, and I was like, I really still am not sure.
I'm
don't
also
know.
still not sure.
I also just don't know. I feel like I'm having a good time, and I'm realizing like I'm learning the things about the relationship that I had. Like, even though he lied and he fucked up, and like a lot of the shit was on him. I'm like, okay, I can think back on the things that I could do better in a relationship next time, or the things that I want in a relationship next time that are really important to me that I didn't realize as a 26-year-old going into a long-term relationship.
Well, that they maybe weren't as important at 26 as they were at the end of it.
Yeah, and a whole
Totally.
pandemic happened in the middle of that. So
Yes.
people change, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I've realized, like, I don't know, going forward, like, for example, like, I'm someone that, like, someone where, like, sex needs to be really important to you. And if it's not really, and you're kind of vanilla, or if it's just not really at all, then I'm like, I can't date you.
Yeah.
Like, that's not we're not compatible at the end of the day.
It's also, I feel like, so important to figure out like the weight of your values.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
yeah, like if sex is like that's a big value.
This is a big one.
That's a big
You gotta
value.
find someone that aligns on that page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
But, and
So-
that they do change.
Right.
Like they change and they shift weight and like stuff that I realized towards the end where I was like, oh, this is okay. Sorry, go ahead, keep going.
No, I know exactly that. It is like the weight of it, right? It's not like this is a value that I have that it's like a give or take, or like a take it or leave it.
Right.
This is a value that I have that it's really heavy right now.
Yeah.
And as I get older, it may get lighter, but it also may still remain very heavy.
Right.
And that is, it is what it is. But to know that about yourself is really important. That also, you only know that when you get older. And so that's what I'm going into like dating with now is like if I meet somebody, we hung out, we have sex, and it's like really fun. Like there are definitely romantic prospects where I've been like,
Sure.
I like this guy. Like, I don't know. I had one guy over for like the whole Sunday, like a few days ago.
That's a big.
And it was like really nice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like, I don't know if I feel like both of us were on the same page of like, great, this was fun.
Yeah.
We'll do this again in 3 months.
Yeah.
I think also as we are getting older, it has to like the person that you're spending time with has to be a value add to your life.
Yeah.
To your like we don't have the time that we did in our 20s. Not like we don't have the time, like the clock's running out. But like I
You just don't want to waste it. It's time is valuable. You don't want to waste the time that you already
Yeah.
have. That we are all so busy and we're hustling. You don't want to waste time with someone
Right.
who's like a dud.
Yeah, not a dud.
Yeah.
Not at
No.
32.
Not
No.
a
Or
no does
38. Like, maybe I'm just a commitment phobe. I don't know.
Well, that's
so
the
that's
other
the
thing,
other
right?
thing.
is
Let's talk
I have
about
been
that.
realizing like the patterns of relationships that I've been in and the
Yes.
people that I've chosen to let into my life
Yes.
are also not healthy. Because that's the thing. My friend called me out on that one day. She's like, Gus, you let people in your life that you allow to criticize you. And you take that criticism as truth as opposed to being like, fuck you, you're projecting on me.
Interesting.
And I was like,
It's a good friend.
yo,
That's a
call
very
me
good-
out. I told my therapist that. My therapist was like, should I Venmo her?
Yeah.
Like, should I Venmo her?
Straight
Yeah.
up. How long have you known this person?
Like not even that long.
that's a dynamite.
That's a really good
No,
assessment.
that really nailed me.
Yeah.
It nailed
Yeah.
me. But then it made me look at like the relationships I have chosen to have, even if they were situationships or not. And it's like I picked shitty people, and I picked shitty people for different reasons. A lot of them were because I was like, I recognize your shittiness and I can fix that, and that's not.
the savior
What
complex.
That's
is it
not.
about that? Because
You have shitty parents, and you have shitty
Yeah.
parents that you had to take care of when you were younger, especially when you're an immigrant kid, because those people go unfucking checked their whole lives. And then when you grow up, you meet people with similar characteristics as them, and you say, I can fix them, but you can't.
yeah.
You just can't.
But how do we?
Does that sum it up? Sorry, my bad.
It does. But I guess what I'm confused about is like,
Sorry.
It was just an office right next door, so we're like, oh, shit.
just screaming about
Screaming
fisting
up.
in a full like corporate workspace. I think what I feel confused about when it comes to dating is that idea and that concept of, well, yes, there's, you want to fix someone, blah, 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 blah. But how do we constantly find them? The ways that I sometimes think that I'm like, well, I'm paying attention to red flags. I'm looking for the green flags. I'm listening. I'm keeping this in check about myself. But like, fucking A, if you put me in a room with 1,000 people and I throw a rock, I'm going to hit the one person that needs to be fixed and is going to check all the XYZ boxes that have been wrong about the people I've picked in the past. It's just like, without even knowing them.
Yeah.
Do you know what my therapist would say to you about that?
What?
Because I asked my therapist the same question. I was like, why is it
Why am I
when
so
I'm in a fucking group and I'm having a good time with the group.
Come on.
The one fucking lowlife in the group's got a one-on-one me all of
Yep,
a sudden.
yep.
Now I'm sidelined,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to have fun with the group, and now I'm talking about fucking nothing with this one bitch. And he's straight, and it's this. It's like,
Yeah.
why did this person find me? How do they find me?
It's like they can
Energy.
smell it.
And he said that, and he said energy.
energy.
It is your energy. It's like, and he was like, it's your energy because
Yes.
you are letting it. Because it's like if you shifted your energy to be like, I don't need that, or like
Shifted into a vibration
it's
that's
shifted
like,
into a different. He says vibration a lot. It's
I'm your therapist.
You are my therapist, and
Yeah.
he's like, if you shift your vibrations, like you'll see that you'll attract like a different sense of this like group of people. And I have done that now. Like I literally have done that where I'll go into a gay bar. And I did this in Lisbon. I went into a gay bar. I was jet lagged. I was so tired. We had walked around all day, and I was like, and it hit me, and I was like. And I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm ugly, and no one is ever gonna love me. And I could like see the spiral happening. And then the one person I was with was like, are you good? Are you good? And I was like, oh, it's my energy.
It is your energy, yeah, because they could read that you were going in.
read
Like,
it.
so, but
And I literally just was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna shift. And then I shifted, had the best night.
yes.
is that
Had
catnip
the
for
best fucking
dysfunctional
night.
people? Then is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
That they can
Yes.
just like smell it and they're like, oh yeah.
Well, because they're like, I'll be taken care of and I'll be like worshipped or like whatever it is. Like they're just
Yeah.
like, this
Yeah.
person will stay.
Yes.
This person will not leave.
maybe it's the,
I
the
will-
staying factor.
This person will.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This person likes cycles just as much as I do.
Yeah. How do we break that cycle? That's what I feel muddy about.
Well,
is
you
like,
know what? This is some good advice
is-
my therapist did tell me is like, he's like, fold your hands like this, like you would normally. Just fold them.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, now just move one finger over and fold them again. How do you feel?
it feels nice.
Does it feel nice?
Yeah.
Because to me, when I do
It
it,
feels odd, but it feels
it feels
nice.
odd. For me,
Feels a
the
little
feeling is like
odd.
it feels unnatural. And he's like, okay, so this is what rewiring your brain can sometimes feel like. It's odd and it's uncomfortable, but we've been taught to only do things this way.
That's my problem.
And
I'm
if
like,
we-
oh, that's so nice.
Like if we can just like 1 second take a breath and be like, let me just try things a different way.
Yeah.
It may feel odd, but eventually over time it may feel better. That's what the advice he gave me. And sometimes I find myself in moments being like like in with my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let me see if I can decide to feel a different way about this.
So does that?
And
this is
that
what,
helps with dating a lot.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, what does that mean though? Does it mean like, okay, I'm gonna start dating someone who is outside of my general idea of what attraction is, or someone who's outside of a field that I usually date in, you know, career-wise, or someone who's a different age bracket? Is that what what is it about? Like, what do you need to switch up?
Oh, I think it's less about like I
know.
think it really is just inner energy.
I know.
Or
Yeah.
I think it's less about like
Energy, okay.
instead of dating an actor, I'm gonna date an accountant. I don't think that's it because there are also shitty accountants.
We're
you
all so
know?
damaged.
Where everyone's broken.
Yeah.
But I think vibrationally, it's this idea of coming to the dating landscape as a like knowing for certain that you are like a whole person who deserves to be loved, who loves yourself, and whether or not someone accepts or denies you has no bearing on how you think about yourself.
That's not true. If they reject you, you are trash.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
is fact, and
That
that
is-
is truth.
That is.
I have to call that
what
right
if
now.
like honestly, can I just say what a female thing for you to say to two gay men? Really? Okay, we know how the world works, baby. Okay, we know how it works. And if a man rejects us, it's us. Okay,
It's us. It's always us.
and it's because they have power.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
I literally said that to my therapist one day. I said, "Oh yeah, like blah blah, ugly, ugly, ugly," and he was like, "It sounds like you really give a lot of power to other people." And I literally was gagged. It gagged me. It gagged me. I was like, "Fuck you, man. That was harsh." And it was true. It's
Oh my
true.
God.
And it is. But it is like, you're right. It is because
It's
you're
shifting the locus of power
yeah,
from
because
yourself
even
to
in your
someone
question,
else.
it's like you're giving so much power. It's like, oh, if he's
so much
this
power.
or that, it's like, no. What if I was so powerful?
I don't know.
You
how
know,
to do
and like that is,
I need like a potion.
you know what the thing is? Can I tell you what's helped me?
Yeah.
Fisting.
Yes.
Fisting. No, I masturbate in the mirror.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's honestly helped me love my body in such a way that I've never loved it ever before.
Wow.
Wow.
I might start doing.
I am going to IKEA on Friday, so I could get a new full-length mirror.
Get a nice full-length mirror. And you know what the thing is?
I will report back on
You
Saturday.
can't do it.
Let me tell you, like
I come in next week and I'm gonna be like, I am fucking
Yeah.
powerful and fierce because I
I was
have.
jerking off in IKEA.
I was gooning in the mirror for an hour and a half. Yeah, I know. Girl, I know. Girl. No, but the thing is, though, like, let me tell you, I know it's
We have to interject
Okay,
though.
sorry.
We have to.
because I know goon really triggered both of you. I know the goon really triggers a lot of people.
Alex
I just learned
discovered-
about.
I know you- I
Have
can
you guys
tell, I
heard
can
of
tell.
gooning? Have
Oh
you guys
my
heard of
God.
gooning?
Gooning is great.
I have not heard of gooning until New
I gave a
Year's.
poor definition of what I thought gooning was.
I'm a great gooner.
I said, okay, okay, we have so many things to talk about. Okay, so I tried to define gooning. It is this is how I define it, and then I want you to define it because it's probably better. And then I need you to demonstrate what it looks like.
Great.
Okay.
I'm so down.
So, okay.
Give me the mirror.
So, give me the full length.
May we have a
Bring the mirror.
So gooning is I'm also trying to remember that this is a podcast and family is listening. Okay, but
It doesn't.
you know,
If you're okay, we're going to
you're
give you
family,
an opportunity.
just get
If
the
you're
family.
Press
family and
mute
you
for, like,
don't
2
want to hear
minutes.
this,
Yeah.
give us a 2-minute mute.
okay, cool. There's your warning.
I
Great.
like how you guys didn't do this with the fisting.
Yeah, I know, right? Everyone knows fisting. But
yeah.
this is
Fisting is
okay.
universal.
So true, sis.
From what I have never done it, but I have seen a lot of the content online. It is a form of masturbation for men in particular, but it like really deeply connects with your like primal like sexuality, and it's like it's a form of edging, and it's also a form of, what did I say? I was like,
You kept. This is where my confusion was.
I
'cause
said Neanderthal.
You kept saying Neanderthal, and I was like, "Is it a caveman
No,
thing?"
'cause
And then you were,
it's kind of
and
like,
then,
boom, boom,
and then you were like,
sex. Like,
"Ah."
there's like a Neanderthalness about it. But I guess
I
which
feel
is
like
primal is the better
I
word.
feel like gooning is holding space for like kinky gays. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
gooning is holding space for like really just like queer people.
What is your definition of gooning?
It's
very
obviously very similar. Yeah. It's like basically that you get so lost in your bait session that you like kind of make stupid noises and faces and that
drool.
and you drool and you let yourself like really just kind of like let go in the process of it.
Okay, so you're not
Tantric maybe in a way.
Yeah, you're reaching a new.
edging, right?
That's
You're, like,
how you.
supposed to,
That's how
know,
you shift your vibe.
Yeah.
Right, you're
Through
supposed to
gooning.
I have to start gooning in a
stroke
full-length
different
mirror.
ways.
I'm gonna change my life this weekend.
No, let me tell you, I started doing it, and it was like I feel
Gooning
like
or the mirror?
both. Both.
Can you give us a little like
So
what do you
the
think
goon-
it looks like?
the goon
Show us the
face.
goon
Yeah.
face.
Give
This
us
is
an
the goon-
example.
The goon, well, because actually, this is gonna be so this is a real left turn. So the goon face is actually lion's pose in yoga.
Oh yes.
So it's just lion's pose. Yeah.
Okay.
So doing is when you put your eyes back while you masturbate. Is it elicits
Everyone on 3, goon. 1, 2, 3.
3.
it elicits a feeling of pleasure because the way your throat moves out it also like connects with your
Some sort of chakra.
your prostate.
Oh.
And so it feels good if you can really get into it and like really let your tongue out and like get into the goon. Like you'll feel a sense of like connected pleasure through it.
Hashtag get into the goon.
But like it is
He's got the Goonies.
It is essentially like a yoga pose that like it
Yeah, so it's
so there's a
tantric.
There's a spiritualness to it. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. I know it sounds like a real left turn, but it is.
No, that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
that.
But I started doing it, and it was great. Like I started doing it. I was like working out more at the gym, and I started like seeing a little bit of that, and I was like, let me just in the mirror. And I feel like people could be like, it's so narcissistic, but it feels when you're
No.
doing it like the opposite. You're like, oh my god,
It sounds like complete like love
I'm
of your body.
really loving
I
my
like
body
sex
right
in a
now.
mirror. Sex in a mirror is
Yeah.
really hot.
Yeah,
But I've
yeah.
never
Yeah,
It's really nice. I highly recommend it.
I love
highly
that.
recommend.
Okay, all right. Challenge
We
extended.
have a link in the profile below for full-length mirrors.
Yeah.
from
We
IKEA.
have a link to my guided goon session.
Use the discount code Into the Mud.
Guided goons with Gus.
Oh my
Okay.
God. What is this episode even about at this point?
Gooning.
Gooning. This is all goon all the time.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well,
okay.
back to dating.
Back to
really, I
dating.
think
Back
it,
to dating.
It helps you connect with your self-love, and I think that really is important when it comes to self-date. When it comes to dating. Not
So that's a
self-dating,
no. So
Self-dating.
that is actually such a perfect segue because something I've noticed. So I was in this long-term relationship for 8 years, and it's my first time like dating as a adult who loves herself. I think like when I first, like 8-10 years ago, I was not in like the same mindset. And now the way that I'm approaching like dating, getting asked out, being pursued, like hooking up, I'm like, oh, I'm coming at it from a different angle.
Yes. Oh my
Coming
God.
at it from a different angle.
Oh my God. Like,
I'm like, I don't need you.
when I see
I love
videos
my
that are
time,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, did you watch my story? I don't care if they're watching my story. I don't care if I've seen their story. I don't care if they texted me. I don't care anything.
Yes.
Literally, if they like me,
Yes.
I know they will message me. And if
Yes.
they don't like me, they're not going
They're
to
lost.
message me. And if I message them
Yes.
and they don't respond, whatever.
Yeah.
That's your answer.
But I always have repeat customers. So
Okay, honey.
So there is that. So there is that. But in terms of dating or like in terms of romance and
Yeah.
like any romantic attraction, I'm like, I don't have those 26 and 25-year-old Gus concerns are so out the window.
They're so out the window,
like,
and I
don't
think
care.
it's so important to be at a place, or for me at least right now, I'm so happy with like what I'm doing as an individual that I'm like, I'm not looking for another person right now to be like, I gotta have a partner. Like, again, I'm coming at it from a long-term relationship, but it feels really freeing to like enter into a hookup, a dating situation with someone and be like, let's see where it goes. If it works out, cool, and if it doesn't, that's also fine.
Yeah.
Like my first dating experience outside after my breakup was really like lovely and just like casual, and then we dated for a few months, and then it was a very amicable split, and it's like that is such a beautiful thing, because I think years ago I would have been like, oh, he doesn't like me, or like, what did I do wrong? And it's like, no, it's just, I think we have to give room for like compatibility and for like people to come into your life and out of your life and allow that.
Well, that's why I really don't believe in monogamy.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's another thing of like going into relationships next time
Yeah.
around, is that I know that for myself.
That's
'cause
the
I
thing
didn't know
I've
that the
wondered
first
about.
time. I didn't know
Yeah.
that going into my last relationship, and now I do know that about myself. And it's like, why should my life, my whole life, I have one of it,
Yeah.
and I'm only gonna have one partner
Yeah.
for the rest of my life? That's crazy, in my opinion. It's like only having
It's a
one job or one career or one hobby.
Yeah.
Or one anything. It's like, why would I only want to do one thing my whole life? Unless it's great and I can keep doing it, whatever. But it's like, it's just crazy to me that I would.
I also
approach
think
life like that.
modern day dating, and especially like our lifespans now versus what they were when marriage was invented, is insane. But that I sent you that quote by Esther Perel where she says like, the pressure that we put on our partners nowadays, like it used to be like we would live in villages amongst people, and you would have different people to do different things with and support you. But now we look at our one partner as the provider and the confidant and the adventurer, and it's got to be sexually exciting, but also you have to be safe, and also I have to trust you, and you have to be loyal. And we look at one person to be this entire village for us, and it feels just like an unrealistic expectation.
100%,
And I feel like I know so many couples that have been together for years that are just like not that happy.
Yeah,
Many.
100%.
Many.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's like, yeah, we gotta restructure some of this.
Yeah, and it is a lot of that energy of like, why is this person not everything for me? And it's like,
Yeah.
because they're never gonna be.
'Cause they're never gonna be.
Some
that.
people just, and it's this.
You
is
don't
such
have
a-
one friend.
This is such a dumb example, but it's like some people don't like chess, and you might love fucking chess, and that person's not gonna like chess
Yeah.
Yeah.
or some other shit.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like you just can't expect that person to fill all those checklists for you. It just never happens.
They
Or
can
what?
fill some of the holes,
Holes?
but not all the holes.
Oh,
that's just
honey.
like- that's
oh,
just
honey.
it.
The holes are
Oh,
filled.
the holes are nonstop.
That's just
filled.
it. That's just it. Yeah.
I think what's rocking me right now is, in a beautiful way for you two, is your sense of certainty about about your aspects of dating, of being like, I'm going into dating with self-love, and I know I'm going into dating knowing that like I 100% don't want a monogamous relationship. I feel like I'm feeling a little rocked right now, because I think that's what's challenging me in my dating experiences. I'm still serving a lot of ambiguity, even though I'm trying not to, but I just don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know is like the theme of my life of the last 5 years in so many different areas. But even like, I don't even like that fucking question on Hinge where it's like, what kind of relationship type are you? Do you want monogamous or do you want open? And my answer is so like, well, like ideally I would like monogamous, but I actually don't really know if I actually function well in monogamy. Like actually I really want an open relationship, but like I guess it's a case by case basis. We'll figure it out when we get there. Like that's not a clear answer. Like I guess I'm saying I admire / I'm a little envious of the like the sense of certainty that you have about what you want and what you don't want, because I think I struggle so much with my self-love that it's like I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want.
I feel like
in
you're
a
afraid to
relationship.
put a flag in the sand because it's like, but what if this person doesn't want it to
It's
be
the same
here?
thing with me leaving the business. It's like I
Yeah.
want to leave the business, and like that's what I think I want. But then I'm like, but what if there was that thing I was supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
or like what if I say like, oh, I want to be, I want to be in an open relationship, and then suddenly the man of my dreams, I passed him by because actually he wanted a monogamous relationship, and he swiped left on my profile. Like I don't know. It's I'm approaching it with a lot of fear and insecurity and self-doubt, which is why my therapist he's making plenty of money off of me, honey.
Yeah. My therapist always comes back to being like, what do you want? And like really
I think
genuinely
it's-
asking myself that. But I learned throughout this year that like the answer doesn't come that easily. Is that you do
I don't
try.
either.
Yeah, you do like try a lot of things, but like then eventually you start being like, oh, I really like this, so I want more of this in my life.
Yeah.
You know?
I do have some of that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's totally trial and error, and I think also an acceptance of the fact that we are allowed to change our minds. Like you're allowed to like enter into something and then change your mind.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
true.
is allowed.
Yeah.
So like when you make a decision, that's not in iron and
course,
can't be
of course, of
broken.
course.
And I wonder if it would be helpful to start to make smaller decisions on the periphery rather than like, I want a monogamous relationship. Instead of that, like, I want someone who like wants to go explore a museum with me.
Yeah, I
Like
do have
making
prerequisites.
like starting like little acts of because because while I am feeling good about like some aspects of dating, I still am in the I don't know what I want.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I still
my big I don't know what I want is, do I want a boyfriend or do I just want to be single for a little while?
See,
that's my what that's
But
mine.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you is I'll go on TikTok, I'll go on the sex apps, I'll be fine, but I'll go on Tinder and be scrolling and I'm like I'll have this weird instinctual feeling of like I hate this, and then I think that's like me telling myself like I don't want to date.
Yeah.
So I kind of I've been following that.
Following the intuition, what we were just talking about with Corey. I think it's like
But to play devil's advocate, what she also said about intuition is like sometimes
Do
the
the
thing
scary
that
thing.
scares you the most is the thing you need the most. So then I just get in the spiral of like, well, am I just scared of it? Blah blah blah. Like
it's
because
I love Go ahead.
Well, my mom gave me two great pieces of advice when it came to dating, which is shocking because she's a homophobic bitch. But but the one she did was right before I broke up with my boyfriend the first time. I was like, I don't know about this. She was like, if something's drowning you, you gotta let it go so you can come back up for air. And I was like, that is such great fucking
That
advice.
is really good
and
advice.
it's such
Really
good
good
advice
advice.
that comes from just being older.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you're in your 20s or maybe you're dating, in your 30s, especially as a gay man, because
Yeah.
you are, you're dating in your 30s as a gay man is what dating in your 20s as a straight person is like for a little bit, because we're backtracked.
check. I'll give
Okay?
you that. I will
You fucking
absolutely
straight
give you
people
that.
Give
did that
us-
shit in your 10s.
Give
You know
us
what I mean?
the well, wait, some
You did a lot. Some of us, not
some-
all of us,
not all.
but
give
Give the listeners
give the
an
listeners
understanding of what
more
that
of
frame of
that.
reference is.
it's just like gay people, we are a little delayed in our lives, especially older gay people, because we were in the closet for so long. We didn't have these experiences until we were like 20. Some people 25, some people 26.
So like a 25-year delay.
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
a bit
So
of
it's
a
like while
delay.
you were like crushing on that,
Puss
a
puss.
classmate in kindergarten and like being flirty and cute, we were like,
doing that in
Hiding.
kindergarten.
hiding.
I don't know. we were hiding and being like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Like that
Yeah.
advice is so
Yeah.
true of like you're gonna date so many fucking people, and if someone is drowning you like this, bro, please just come up
Yeah,
for
yeah,
air,
yeah.
swim around,
Yeah.
and don't fucking get older, And the other really good piece of advice she gave me was, your boyfriend's broke, you should break up with him. No,
Like broke or like broken?
broke. No,
Or broke.
No, okay, no. Yeah.
Like obsessed with your mom.
The thing she said to me was, with relationships with like 40 years of marriage, she was like, you got to know that I do this and he's got to know that he does this. And if you do all the shit that you do together, everything's going to be good. And it's about compromise,
Yeah.
but
Compromise and complementing each other and not
it's
having
about
this
complementing each other.
same, it's
Yeah.
not sameness. I think that's something we conflate too.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are your like biggest prerequisites for dating? Like, what is one thing that's like a non-negotiable for you, or one thing that is like the most prized quality or something about somebody that you want in a relationship?
Well, work ethic, like dedicate, not just like in relation to work, but like a passion about something, like whether it's exercise or they're a cinephile, like something that they just love and they just do because it fills them.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Absolutely. I
they
completely
work
agree.
towards a passion or a thing that they love. Yeah.
And for you guys?
Definitely that. I mean, being a hoe is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Sex is important.
It's tough
Sex
up
is-
there. That is,
yes.
you know, as we
Sex
talked
is-
about value
yeah.
earlier, like being a hoe, but also like someone that is someone that does like to like get out and travel and like do shit a lot.
Yeah.
A very active
A
person.
doer.
A doer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not talking like gym rat or like whatever, but I'm talking
No.
like a big doer. Like,
Yeah.
if I want to be like, let's go on a long fucking hike and like hike this mountain and do some crazy shit, like he's like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
What's
love
yours?
that. Mine is I just you need to make me laugh, or you need to laugh at my joke. Like I need to have like sense of humor with someone, and I need to our quality of time. I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Because I've had I hope they're not listening. I've had a lot of boyfriends who have kind of inadvertently pushed me away.
Yeah.
And I have pushed them away just because like I didn't have as much fun with them as I wanted to. So like. That's why I was like the guy that I was dating earlier this year. I was like mostly bummed about.
Yeah.
Primarily just because like every time we hung out, we just fucking giggled.
Yeah.
And it was like we would just drink and laugh and have the best time ever.
Yeah.
And so like my prerequisite is like if I'm gonna be with you for the long haul, I have to actually want to hang out with you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because
Like
otherwise I'm an
like
introvert
friends first.
and I want to be alone.
Yeah.
And so
Same.
if I actually want to be with you, then that's a huge sign for me.
Yeah.
I hate to do this.
We already have to wrap up?
We have to wrap.
Jesus.
We have to wrap up.
We have to wrap.
Okay, cool.
Okay, rapid
here we go.
fire.
So rapid fire,
let's
really
do it.
quick.
I'm so excited.
As fast as you possibly can. 3, 2, 1.
Atlantic or Pacific Ocean? What does DNA stand for?
Dynamic neuron assessment.
Absolutely not. Winter cabin or summer beach house?
Summer beach house. I'm Greek.
What's the tallest mountain in the world?
Not Everest.
Who's on the penny?
Is it? Or is it Fuji? Okay. What is it?
Who's on the penny?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, rate these dips. Hummus, baba ganoush, tzatziki.
Tzatziki, baba ganoush, harness.
If you were a mermaid, what would your name be?
Casina.
If you could trade in Trump's second term for any previous Republican president, who would it be?
Ronald Reagan. Not. That's the only one I know. No, is FDR a Republican? FDR was a Republican. I
think
no,
so,
he was
yeah.
a big old Democrat. No, he was a big.
No.
Well, he had like democratic policies, but he might have been a Republican. I don't know.
Maybe someone
We
like,
have to keep
like,
going.
also like
Back
Bush,
then,
Bush
it was different.
Senior.
It was different. Yeah, Bush Senior was great. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, are Bert and Ernie gay?
Yes.
Favorite childhood candy?
Kit Kat.
Well done, bravo. Oh my God, Gus.
Gus,
I
this
like
was
how it was a mix of like opinions and also like real questions.
absolutely.
That was stressful because I was like, am
We
I
like
right?
to stress everyone out.
My answer's
10
still
questions.
Reagan.
Great. He holds Reagan.
Trickle down worked.
Thank you so. This was
Thank
an
you. That was
absolute
hysterical.
Laugh
Oh
fest.
my gosh.
Where can our listeners find you on the socials?
At Constantly Gus on all of the socials, including Venmo.
We shall
Including
link.
Venmo.
We shall link all the Venmo in the
Constantly Gus.
Instagrams.
Great.
Yeah.
You're a delight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you guys
here.
for listening and
thanks for having
watching. Give a like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time.
Yay, bye.
Bye.